Hey, this is Dustin, your host. Thank you for joining me on this episode of A Wanderer's Way podcast, a podcast dedicated to entertainment and leisure. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of A Wanderer's Way podcast. Hope you continue joining me after you listen to this episode. And let's just get right into it. So, I just saw recent news here about Pokemon Shield and Sword players, along with Pokemon Home, saying that people are going to be getting banned and will not be able to use Pokemon Home either. So they're like, really? People really are cheating and modding this game that bad? Like, I knew from time to time that I would get like a shiny Pokemon through trades and be, oh, dude, I just got an awesome shiny. And I look at the name and it's like something.com. I'm like, dang, why? Well, release. But yeah, they're going to be banning them, which is a good thing. I like that Nintendo is cracking down on that. Because let's be real, there's really no need to be cheating in this game. And Pokemon Sword and Shield is so easy. I got through that game. I didn't even catch half of the Pokemon at that time. Now I spent about 100 hours and I almost have the Pokédex complete. I have some issues here with trying to trade. I don't really trust a lot of people to just randomly do a trade online and hope to get my evolution back. And some of my friends are either busy working or because our time schedules are completely off. My schedule is I'm up all night, they're up during the day, so we don't really get enough time to really jump on and do any trades. So I still have that. Plus the newest release, DLC, which I got the day it came out. I haven't really played it a whole lot until recently, the last couple days. And I'm stuck on one part because I don't know if it's a glitch or if they intentionally did that. But when you first come into the frozen tundra there, and you go into the cave and you do some of the battles all the way down until you see like a legendary Pokemon. So I get to the end, right? So the first time around, and it was Suicune. Easy, got him, like I normally do. So the next 4 or 5 times I've jumped on there, I went all the way down, and it's Zapdos, and it's Generation 1 version. So I jump in, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna catch him. This is gonna be great. And 3 turns later, he disappears. I'm like, seriously? 3 turns. 3 damn turns, and I can't get him. Like, I don't know if it's just on my side, if other people have had the same issue or what, but 3 turns, and I'm still waiting for my Dynamax to come available. And, I try to have somebody else or invite other people in, so I'm not the only one Dynamaxing, because I don't know why they didn't do it, but, it comes up saying, oh, the NPC is able to Dynamax, but they never Dynamax. So it's been a complete waste of time for that, in my opinion. So I did the invite to get more people so I can get Zapdos. So I get all the way down. I finished the last match before getting to Zapdos. I'm like, cool. We're going to be able to get this one. Nope. What did the game do? It went to a black screen and it sat there. And then it sat there. And then it shut down on me. I'm like, seriously, dude, this is completely load of crap. I never have such bad luck like this unless I want something so bad. I just wanted the original Pokemon, but nope, can't get it. But other than that, the rest of the game's pretty damn easy. So, yeah, so there's that for the day. All right, so they just announced Pokemon Snap to come out April 30th of this year for the Nintendo Switch. It says it's supposed to be 6.8 gigabytes with features and online functionalities. I'm actually shocked. I was not expecting this at all. I know there's a lot of other people out there that wasn't expecting another Pokemon Snap, but we wished for years because the last one was in I think it was March 21st of 1999 was the debut of it on the N64. And when that game came out, um, I got it. I played it. At first, I was just like, "What is this?" Like, I just take pictures. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to do? But for some reason, I enjoyed it so much. But I think maybe that's because I've always been intrigued by photography, which, by the way, I am a photographer. But I didn't think that game resonated with a whole lot of people, at least at that time. But then again, I was sheltered when I was a kid, so I don't know much until recently, you know. But I never expected another Pokemon Snap game because they haven't created another Pokemon Stadium game. I figured that one would have came along with the Nintendo Switch already. At least that should have been over top of the Let's Go series. Because let's face it, that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu was just absolutely atrocious. I hated that game with a passion. Like the graphics were good, the gameplay was good, but catching Pokemon, trying to make it be like Pokemon Go, was a joke. That was the worst thing they could have ever made. It was absolutely horrible. If they would have taken that out and made it like the traditional Pokemon games, that game would have been one of the best. Like, absolutely no doubt in my mind. Because, well, let's face it, it's red and blue versions. That's pretty much what it's based on. And it's just a remake. So, like, everything would have been great if they would have just gotten rid of that crap. But let's get back to Pokemon Snap here. So yeah, it's supposed to debut on April 30th of this year. Um, and Japan already had a live action commercial, which was actually pretty damn good. And for a lot of you guys that don't know much about Pokemon Snap, it is a quirky photography game. That's what it is. You go around taking pictures of Pokemon. I know by describing it, it doesn't sound like the greatest game in the world. Trust me, give it a chance. You will absolutely just fall for it. But I guess the game is supposed to take place in the Lental region, which I don't know much about. And it's already confirmed about roughly 60 Pokemon already in the game. Expected to double, but this is actually roughly 60 confirmed through all 8 generations, which is awesome. Only thing I'm saying is that Typhlosion better be in the game. That's my all-time favorite Pokemon. He always will be, and he better be in the damn game because he's been left out of a lot, and I don't understand why. Like Sword and Shield, I thought when since they were bringing a lot of Generation 1 and 2 coming back for the last DLC, they would have brought him in. Nope, I'm still waiting. It's frustrating because Typhlosion is my absolute favorite. But yeah, and I guess it's already confirmed there's a professor named Mir and then an assistant named Rita. Interesting how they went with those names. Professor Mir. I'm kind of intrigued to know more about this and the Lental region. Um Someone said it was more like you're off the islands of Hawaii in a sense, is what it's supposed to be depicting, which is actually kind of cool. Um by the looks of the game, it looks really dang good. Like the graphics are really, really good, especially for the Nintendo Switch. um, After watching that trailer, I let me tell you, I went and pre-ordered the game. Um, and it's literally my first time I've ever pre-ordered a game in my life. I am 32 years old. Well, I will be at next week, 32. But yeah, I've never pre-ordered a game in my life, and I pre-ordered this one. it's it's bringing back a lot of nostalgia, and a lot of you don't know much about me, but I am huge on older games, everything nostalgic, especially pinball machines. If I can find an old arcade somewhere, which most of them have gone out of business, which sucks, but if I can find that and find these old pinball machines, oh, I'm in love. I'm staying there for hours on end. I'll waste every inch of my money. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the game looks amazing. The graphics look really good. Looks like they put a lot of effort in there. New designs. So I guess the Pokédex turns into a camera, which is actually pretty cool. And then new vehicles that you're getting into are like actually remind me of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. How they had their little pods and you drive through. They kind of remind me of that in a way. Um, so they look cool. Very high tech, which actually makes sense because if you've done any kind of research on Pokemon and the technology used in there for the Pokeballs, you would be absolutely intrigued um, of just how in depth Pokemon really is, and it's not just some kids game and anime. It's actually there's science behind it all, which is really cool. Um, but I'm not gonna go over any of the details of the scientific information here. That's a lot, and a lot that I don't know. I only know what they said, but I can't really go in depth with that kind of stuff. So you guys can definitely go Google about it. Um, let me tell you, it's really intriguing to understand the science behind the Pokeball itself. Just that part. Out of all the years of all the Pokemon games, I would love to know what everyone's favorite is. For me, I want to say it is Silver. It is definitely Silver or Soul Silver. Because Generation 2 is my all time favorite when it comes to each generation there. Obviously, I grew up through Generation 1 before it even became an anime. The Generation 2 just captivated me so much, and I just love the designs of all the Pokemon, and how that game played was just absolutely terrific. And speaking about nostalgic games, so there's been a lot of rumors here of the Pokemon Company and games they're coming out with this year. So far, we already got it confirmed about Pokemon Snap, and they released a trailer. But there's been a lot of talk about the next actual Pokemon game, and what it would be. A lot of people are talking about Soul Silver and Heart Gold would come back as a remake, and they think it would be like the Let's Go series. Please don't. You can put it in the style of Let's Go series. I would be fine with that because that's the traditional. But please bring us back the actual battle and catch, please. But there has been something the last day about I can't remember what it was. Something about a website returning. What was it? Diamond and Pearl? I think that's what someone said. It was Diamond and Pearl, and now people are really thinking that the next game is going to be a remake of Diamond and Pearl, which I don't know. I did play, but it didn't captivate me as much. Like I said, Silver and Gold was my favorite. It's because of the Pokemon and the designs. The ones on Diamond and Pearl was just not my thing. Diamond, Pearl, Emerald, and Ruby, I wasn't a fan. That's when Pokemon, for me, most of the creations were not the greatest. Just like a lot of them on Sword and Shield. There are a few designs I actually enjoy. Not a whole lot, though. to be honest. There's just some designs on there just don't grip me as much. I catch them and then I just release them. I want nothing to do with them. Like, that's how much I can't stand them. Now the dragons on there are pretty good. I've noticed their designs lately. There's a few of them on Sword and Shield that I go, oh, they had to base that on a couple of them from the previous 3 generations, because they look so identical in so many ways, with a little bit here and there with the colors taken. So yeah, it's interesting how things have been with the Pokemon Company and their games. We don't know what to expect from them. They don't tell us until the day of release of a trailer. Like, they're one company that you can only make rumors for, and nothing's ever really true. In fact, I don't think there was even any rumors about Pokemon Snap, honestly. There could have been, but I never noticed any of them around. But then again, lately I've just been overworking myself at work, so I'm not paying attention. Had a Facebook ban too, so wasn't really online. But yeah, if they do come out with Diamond and Pearl, I'll play it. I'll definitely pick it up. As long as it's not like the Let's Go series, I'll wait to see if the battle system will still be good. But really, what I think that would be good, because when they stepped up their game with their style with Sword and Shield, it is fantastic. I can really see them creating a Silver and Gold game remake, and to make it like Sword and Shield 3D and really open. I think that would be actually really cool. I think it would be really, really good. It would be really intriguing. I would definitely hype that game up. But if I really had to say what I would want for a Pokemon game for being this 2021, it's like not necessarily an MMO, but it would be cool. Instead of trying to get online to battle, you can actually meet everybody. So yeah, an MMO basically. There's goods and bads, positive and negatives that I have about an MMO in this sense. I think it could ruin it in a lot of ways, but it could also be good at the same time. But if they went that direction of an MMO, I would see they would have to really create a lot. It would be like a really high game. Like, it would take up a lot of space. But I think it would be awesome though. You would incorporate every single region that's ever been introduced in Pokemon. Put it all together that you can travel back and forth to. They would have all the generations of every Pokemon included through them all. Every one of them, including legendaries, excuse me. But make it as an MMO, I can go around and battle trainers. So it's not just NPCs. You still have the storylines that you would, through each of them, which would be kind of cool to go back through them all. But through your way, through the forest and stuff, you can meet live players, and you can decide if you want to battle or not. They can come up to you and be like, I want to battle. And you can say yes or no. Not be like the NPCs where you have to battle. Because let's face it, every single person's going to try to battle you. So to have that option to say yes or no would be really good. But to have that MMO aspect in it I think it would really do well for the game. But as I said, there's also positive and negatives. As you see with Pokemon Sword and Shield, which I don't understand how people do it. People are cheating. So they would really have to play it really hard with this game. Or just create a game like Sword and Shield, but incorporate all the regions and every single Pokemon. Yeah, that's a huge demand, really, with the space requirement. But honestly, take all the years you need to create it and just create it. Because really, that's what I want personally. I don't know what about everybody else, but to be honest, if you create a new Pokemon game, and if you're going to introduce like a new region, at least make a DLCs or something that you can incorporate to bring to travel to each region. Like, I think that would be really cool. They could have done it with Sword and Shield, honestly. I think that would have been awesome. But who knows? Who knows what's in store for the Pokemon Company and their newest titles that they will be coming out with. But I really hope they also incorporate a new Pokemon Stadium game. I think that would be pretty cool, especially in this day and age. A lot of nostalgic feels. Thank you for listening to this episode of A Wanderer's Way podcast. I appreciate your support, so I hope you will continue to follow the podcast. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend.